if you sit in a certain position, and like he said, if you ask him that when I bring a proposal as Ghanaian, would I implement a proposal? He says, yes, I will do it. But mind you, his viewers are also watching him as Deputy National Youth Organizer. Then the host asks him further, if an NDC and an NPP person brings a proposal, he says, but the NDC is also Ghanaian, and then my biases will set in. Please.
Wouldn't that be the same for you then?
Please. You see, like I said, and I told you, so whether we like it or yes, we are human beings. We will definitely have our preferences. Sometimes we only pray to God that our moral compass will guide us right. I will strive hard not to go down that path. But there are times there is very little you can do. But I pray that God gives me the strength so that I'll be able to serve Mother Ghana in the right direction.
Okay. I was talking to you about the national service, and currently we know that they are being paid. We saw that statement from the president that they are going to be paid. We've also seen the issue of the 81,000 ghost names, and you have seen it as well. As
I'm sector minister,
right? Exactly.
Service, so I am privy to all this information. So as we stand, or as we speak now, that issue is under investigations. The National Investigative Bureau (NIB) is investigating the matter. It's early days yet. What we did was, when I called the finance minister to ask for support for service personnel, one of the things he asked that we do was to give them actuals. So I called Felix of operating, because they do 3 intakes every year. 3 intakes. They do the general intake, they do for the nurses and then the teachers. And all those allowances are paid by the national service. And so usually it's always a problem to be able to get the actuals until the service starts, and then you're able to do the head count and get the actuals. And I believe strongly that that is what others have played on and have exploited the system. But as it stands now, because of what has happened, we are looking for innovative ways of seeing to it that once the portal is opened, within a certain time frame, we're able to do a proper audit and get the actual, so that we don't go ahead and pay with the estimates. Because when you leave a loophole, as humans as we are, somebody may take advantage of the system and exploit it. But I believe in the ability of Felix and Ruth to lead the service and fix all the mess. Felix have had a long-standing working relationship with National Service. He was a staff there, so he knows the challenges. The Ruth Sedo I know is fierce. She will go into things and get things done. She's still my deputy, and so I can appreciate what they can do, and I believe confidently that they will fix the mess. With the NIB also doing its investigations and the president having an eye on it, we are going to leave no room for corruption. We are not going to get opportunities of taking what is not due them. We'll all come to a stop, and then we will relook at the softwares and other things that is used in administering the service, so that we don't have these challenges.
Okay.
And like I said, I believe in the abilities of the leadership to get it done.
Okay. Government currently pays them about 715 Ghana cedis. Will you be pushing for an increase?
The issues of money is always a big problem, and this is not a decision for George Opare Addo alone. This is an issue that cabinets will have to take. I won't say yes and I won't say no. I wish that every Ghanaian worker is paid well. Just when I was coming in, I was having a discussion with one of my colleagues who has some interest with the ECG. And we were asking the audit report about the ECG and the issues that were raised. And one of the things he said was, he also thinks that people are not being paid well. That is why we have some of these issues. As a country, we need to broadly, I'm not talking about just national service, do an assessment of how we are living. Because when you see people's salary, you ask yourself, are we magicians? How are we able to manage? And if I am not paid well, you not get the best out of me. If I'm not paid well, I would look for other alternative means of surviving. So we need to ask broader questions, whether our pay structures are in the right place, whether a lot more needs to be done, whether we are paying for value for money. It's something, it's a discussion that is broader and bigger than just George Opare Addo. And so yes, I know the challenges that confront service personnel. And when I went there and I spoke to the media, one of the things I said was that the 750 in these hard times is grossly inadequate. So you don't hold it back for more than a month or two. And so I make some honest admissions that yes, there is a challenge with the 750, but it is not for me to say whether it's going to be increased or not. I believe at the appropriate time, government will sit down and look at all these things. Because mind you, the numbers are huge. Are huge. So anything you do will go a long way to affect the budget. This is a country that is already broke. You understand? And so it's a discussion that must be had at a later date, not immediately.
Okay. Now, let's talk about rent. It's also another big problem for the people that you speak for, advocate for. The law says that landlords are not supposed to require rents beyond 6 months. That is currently not being done. You say that you will implement it.
Yeah.
How soon?
Very soon.
Very soon is not definite.
You see, there are some things that you cannot be definite about. For instance, I cannot say today or tomorrow, because once again you need to start stakeholder consultations, and that's what we are going to do. We have learned a property owners association in this country. We need to engage all of them. So there are things you cannot impose, because you need two people to do one thing for you. You need the land or the property owner to accept, and you also need the person who is going to rent to be able to report. If you go and pay 1 year or you go and pay 2 years and you don't report to the authorities, how would I know? If the rent control is not brought to speed with what is happening. What we also need to do is to re-equip the rent control with proper staffs, house them properly, put them in offices that are befitting, hold stakeholder engagements, do some sensitization, and get the Ghanaian public to buy into the law. It is only when this is done that the policy can be implemented effectively. The law has always been in our books. Have we asked ourselves why people have not adhered to it? It's because we've not done broader consultations. And so this must be done before we can implement. That's why I said soon. And like I said again, this is not just one ministry. Somebody will have to lead a charge. We will take up that charge. That's why I said most of our job is on advocacy. We will take the charge, but we will need other ministries to collaborate. The Works and Housing Ministry, the Attorney General's Department, because when it comes to enforcement, they have the power to prosecute. You understand? And then social welfare as well, which falls under children and gender. So it is not just one ministry saying that this, but somebody must take the lead. And that is why we are there. That is why we've been established to pick up on some of these issues that traditionally nobody was taking up or picking up on. And then we bring it to the fore. So some discussions are started and then stakeholders resolved. So soon. When I say soon, soon.
Okay, but this year, next year?
Definitely this year. We cannot push into next year.
Okay. All right. I have looked at the manifesto of the NDC very critically. And there's a lot of, sloganeerings in the manifesto. There's a Jumara, of course, there's 24-hour economy policy, there's Muniyo pension scheme, there's green jobs, there's no fee stress, and it goes on and on. And many think that you want to join the bandwagon of sloganeering. Are you sure all these things can be done in the next 4 years?
All the things we spoke about are feasible. In the next 87 days, we will launch the Jumera project. We are just not going to launch. We are launching with a program lineup attached to it. Timeframes, KPIs for the Ghanaian public. We'll be people in the informal sector.
Okay.
What again? Green jobs. In the coming days, we'll have electric Okadas, electric taxis, and then other e-jobs, other green jobs that are available, and then green in Ghana. And so we are just not speaking about slogans. These are things that are feasible, things that can be done, and we are going to do them.
Let's look at a few things that have been happening since the president became president, quickly before you go, because I know that you have to run. Former President Mahama, I beg your pardon, has given a lot of young people appointments.
Sure.
Which I know that if I ask you your take on it, you say that it's a win for young people because you speak for young people. But what about those who think that is a big political risk? Because we've seen a lot of these young people go into office and all they are thinking their first few days in office, and there's how they are appearing in office and social media, and it has raised a lot of concern that these are young people and that's why they're doing that.
So wrong. So the world has fast changed.
Which one is wrong?
People thinking that all they care about getting into office is social media.
Okay.
Social media has become an effective tool for communication.
Okay.
And so you cannot downplay the effects of social media. So if anybody goes into office and wants to communicate to the people how he's doing, it is through social media. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we did not have the benefit of social media. But if you look at the people who have changed this country, how old was Kwame Nkrumah when he became leader of government business? How old was President Rawlings when he transformed Ghana? It is young people that have been at the forefront of our struggles. Because then there was no social media, no case was made for them. But study our history. All the people who contributed meaningfully, I'm not saying older folks have not done anything, have done so well. Now go back to history again. All the people who have caused the rots and mess in this country, you find a lot of older folks also in there. All the young people who have been given the opportunity to serve in governments, a lot of them have gone on scandal free. All the people, forgive me, who have gone to prison one way or the other in public office, how many young people are in there? Young people have distinguished themselves to the service of Ghana. And so it would be wrong. It is young people that have contributed most. Our labor force is driven by young people. Look around you, your studio, your workplace. Who keeps it going? And so let's give young people the opportunity. And anytime they've been given that opportunity, they have not let Ghana down. I became MC at 27 years. 8 years in office, there was not one single scandal. 8 years, not one single audit findings was made against me. And I know other young people that have served with distinction. Let's look at Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. He became Deputy Information Minister, Deputy Education Minister, and today he's Foreign Affairs Minister. And so the story is endless. There are so many names I can mention. The Honorable Haruna Idrisu. He moved on from National Youth Organizer to become Communications Minister. Was there any scandal against him? He's back as the Education Minister. He became Trade Minister, Employment Minister, Minority Leader, and many other things. So let's give young people the opportunity. And I believe strongly that President Mahama knows the ability of young people. He's worked with them. Look at Honorable John Jinapor. Deputy, he was first spokesperson to President Mahama, Deputy Energy Minister, and now Energy Minister. And many, many other people. The list is endless.
What and all these people to these young appointees?
Very simple. We've been in a can, there is a saying, let me put it in English. To whom much is given, much is expected. I'm done. But you want me to add more?
Oh, no, it's fine. Yeah. Totally fine. As long as that's all you want to say to them. What are your thoughts on what happened yesterday in the media?
Yesterday?
The special prosecutor's press conference declaring Ken as Oforiatta as a fugitive.
Deep reflections, Serwaa. In Akan, there is a popular saying that says that, "Adam for about you say share, now what so, and now what sense you." Power is transient, it's not permanent. Where I sit today, I know maximum 4 years. There'll be elections, a new leader will emerge. Maybe, if my party wins, I may be brought back. Maybe I may not even be brought back. Even where I sit today, tomorrow morning, President Mahama may decide to change me. I've always said that innocent until proven guilty. And so the mere fact that somebody is being invited, I saw Kofi Bento's post on why somebody is not fit to be governor. Because somebody is not fit to be governor. Because the person was charged and he's not been acquitted. So a lot of people will be charged. Some of the charges are very frivolous, and sometimes any other reasonable mind will throw them out. The mere fact that I'm being charged, if another Attorney General comes and enters and nullifies